You're on Cowards, baby. I'm 16.
Chop the head.
Qnorapname.
And we're about to make many beats.
Let's make a whole album right now.
Several beats.
Something like.
Let's go.
Salud.
Q booked me for, I think, my first actual, what I think was like my first proper beat set ever.
Really?
Yeah. And then...
That's what's
Yeah,
up.
Yeah,
Q and
right.
I met through Flip of E Club.
Yes.
Pulled up to make some beats.
Yeah, and then at some point or another, I don't really remember the timeline of events, but we just ended up at the crib making beats one day.
Yeah, we saw each other at shows and events and so on, and then eventually, just like had the first session, and things gelled really fast. And then after that, we had like a session with a jazz drummer, a friend of mine, and we had like linked up through that. And basically since then, it's been like a year of solid work.
Yeah.
You know?
And Six and I had been working on this kind of music, like beats without tempo or like trying to loop as little as possible and just like stuff that keeps moving forward. So from the time we were like working with Q in the first place, that was the idea, was like to make stuff like this. So we were like doing whole sessions, and then each of us would like take that home, chop it up, turn it into beats. And then the past few months has just been like all live sessions like this one, where we're like sometimes making a whole tape in one sitting and just like jamming with each other.
Yeah, the genre is trunk jazz, you know, we're a trunk jazz trio.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's on the top.
Smooth. Thank you. This is insane. Wait.
K2.
Oh.
That was like,
I don't know.
That sounds mad familiar.
Yeah.
It was all about Don't Stop K2.
That's real. I mean, Cuz got a point.
Can you run some sound cue?
That's
That was my next guess.
It's either Tommy Flanagan or Eddie Barron.
Right.
Those crazy old jazz heads.
There we go.
You are a little quiet, actually. And we had that. We had that last
in
time.
general,
So
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
whatever you
wondering
wanna
what
do
the
to
fuck
turn
that
up.
is. This is turned all the way up here. I can't go too much higher.
So this is step one of the process. This is going to be 3 people all looking for samples on top of each other out loud at the same time. And we're going to try to tell what's us and what's
Right.
That was me, that one.
That was you? I like that.
We're on your time.
No.
I got to go to West after this.
She said, "Whose man's is this?" But you know what? That's what I need.
She said, what are
I'm
those?
taking your
What
keys now.
What are those?
Ooh.
She said, "What hand you roll up with?" Real quick, I have to point this out. I never got deep enough into the right genres until I started making beats with them. And if I may, Chop in particular, because some of the shit that I've heard come out of this 404, I'm like, what the fuck is this and where did you find it? You know what I mean? Like, it's... So you got it. The moral of the story is dig deeper. Like, whatever you think is cool. Soul is great. Jazz is great. All that shit is great. But there is some weird ass shit.
You hear this right now?
This is nuts.
This is like what I look for. If I'm answering that question, yeah, like you said, like soul and jazz was like the foundation for me. Like there's 1,000 records in here of like digging that stuff. But with that, you're gonna get like music that was like presented through a label and like, you know, made in the country that you're in. So like a lot of like American records. So the shit that you're not gonna find on vinyl is like experimental stuff, and if you do, it's expensive. So I go to YouTube for, I'm looking for experimental music. I'm looking for soloists. So a lot of the time I just go for like individual musicians, jazz drummers, and then like, just experimental music, electronic music. I want to hear sounds that I don't know, like what instrument is even making them a lot of the time. So as far out as I can get is where I'm looking to go.
That's dope.
I definitely, like, my rule lately has been, like, I don't use anything I've heard of. So if it's, like, I'm digging into a certain channel and I'm already familiar with a certain artist name, that's not what I'm going to sample. I'm always looking for stuff that I haven't heard of before, people's names, stuff in different languages, anything I don't already know.
Yeah, and Q, his just, like, technique with the sampler at all, just, like, the way he's able to, like, totally manipulate and, like, flip and mangle sound, like... Yeah, every time I like am listening to like what he's doing, I always look over and like, how the fuck
totally,
am I
doing that? I was gonna
yeah.
say from the first session we had, I was looking at Q was doing and like so fast, able to just like take one sound and completely transform it and make a groove completely differently. I was like, how do you do that? Not only like how do you do that, but like how do you do that so quick?
For sure.
Like, it just happens like so fluid. Yeah.
And he's better at drums than me. I can make some real ugly drums, but he makes nice ones.
I'm 50.
Yeah,
at all.
Sounds good.
I don't know.
That's not true.
Y'all both have
That's not true.
At this point, I'm just like letting my hands like dance a little bit. It doesn't matter what note it is yet. If I'm looking for a note in particular, then I'm stuck on one note. But if I'm not, then I can play any note I want to. So I'm not worried about it yet.
Right. Six is playing, like actually playing melodies that I don't do that. And I cannot speak for Chop because Chop be doing shit and Chop is really ridiculous on bass and we all play instruments, but like as far as this situation goes, a lot of like you get more freedom with the original melodies and original composition, and Six does that. I can't say effortlessly, but like quickly and effectively and like
yeah.
You know what you're doing. You got it. You know what I mean? You earned that. I don't really know. I just kind of go for what's available. Like, I don't know. Sample-based stuff in general is like the art of sampling itself. Like, you can turn anything into anything. So I'm just like, whatever the first thing is, I'm gonna like exhaust my options with the first thing I find, and see if I can find something cool. And if I can't, I'll go on to the next thing. But like, I'm trying to like make same deal. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to make something different.
That's funny too, because like that's the total opposite of what I'm doing right now, which is like I'll fucking listen to 40 minutes of music and then I'll find like one
hit.
Yeah, the one fucking gong hit that I like, versus like, all right, taking the first thing that you find and like seeing how much you can do with it. Yeah, that's true. So, that's funny.
But that's why I feel like it works so well.
For sure. Yeah.
I feel like it works well. Like, we all have like 1/3 of like a brain
of like a normal functioning human brain.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, making beats on my own is completely different
for
than
sure
working with cowards.
Yeah.
And doing it together as a trio. If I'm making beats alone, I'm like looking for texture and I'm looping stuff in like regular 4/4 time. I'm making like remixes and pop shit and beats that are like have that regularity to them, that expectation. But as like a part of the trio, all I'm doing is bringing in samples and deciding when they're happening and when they're not happening.
Yeah.
And I don't have to completely construct a groove or know what the tempo is necessarily to make the work happen. I'm just controlling when it's happening and when it's not. And if I'm doing nothing at all, then the music is still occurring, right? And
right.
Yeah. I can like
lean on each
cue up
other.
the next thing.
Yeah.
Trunk jazz.
So exactly. The trunk jazz setup, the setup of us as a jazz trio, essentially, is totally different than when I make beats on my own, where I'm like, arranging shit and like making beats that are
the whole thing.
Yeah, a lot of the time it's remixes these days. But yeah, as a jazz trio, we're improvising together, right?
I think it's a little too long.
Kind of like separated into tracks.
Yeah.
Fade that joint or
Just
something.
like at the end of a track right here. Right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can even let this run. Kind of where those. I think I bring new drums in at the end of my sample, in that gap that's in my track. Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay, so this is a new
I like
track.
that. That's great.
That whole section. If we're picking like 45 seconds, I feel like
that would be good.
Yeah, okay, so I was like, for years of my life, I like went digging all the time, dug vinyl, like made beats every single day. For the past couple years, probably earlier in the video, you may have seen some of these album covers. I've been doing that full time, and that's like a lot of my time. So like I've been making a lot less beats lately. So when I do it now, it's what they said is like my consideration is like drums and sounds that you probably haven't heard maybe in a beat or on a record before. Like right now I want everything to be like 30 BPM.
No doubt.
Nothing in 4/4. Yeah.
30 is crazy.
If it's more of like a like sculptural thing sometimes than a musical thing.
Totally.
But yeah, as far as like a short answer to that, I'm trying to show you something that you have not heard before. That's the whole mission every time. Yeah.
Yeah. No doubt.
Fast forward like 5 years later than that, because I was only doing it here and there to make beats for the homie. But a few years later, I moved to the West Coast and met DiBiase and met Architect. And
how'd that
yeah.
happen though? Like
I
what's the gap
met
between-
him at a Homeboy Sandman. It was Homeboy Sandman, Quelly Chris,
Yeah.
and DiBiase,
Okay.
and I was like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?" Like just some
Oh,
crazy
yeah,
beats
yeah.
happening. And I was like,
For
"There's
sure.
no computer.
The
There's no
best.
like what's going on."
Yeah.
And then like from that day on, I just went home and like looked up
Word.
what a 404 was.
Cool.
Fast forward, and then like like
Damn.
really figuring out what sampling was. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like before, it's like I didn't know, and I was trying to figure it out. But like, you really the case in point is just watch somebody
You
who
gotta watch
really,
someone
really,
do it.
really knows what they're doing, and
Yep.
then you'll
And
be
he's
like,
so
"Wait, what?"
good too, like all the details, like especially just using the 404, like getting
Yeah,
all the
come on.
functions.
Yeah, shout out to the SP404, shout out to DiBiase, shout out to
Yeah,
West Coast
for real.
in the Bay Area and Flipper Beat Club.
Go
So
behind.
what's the-
Transformers 8.
Talk
It's my
about it.
personal. It's my personal.
We're
goal.
gonna score the whole film.
Yep.
I don't want to give them any
Yeah.
unnecessary shine, but like in a respectful way.
Yeah.
Like I think the
We don't
8th
wanna-
or 9th Beast Wars or
Yeah.
whatever like movie and shit.
We don't want to speak on it too early, but that will be happening.
Is that Michael Bay still? Did he do
Transformers?
He does all them joints?
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah, we're
no
doing
disrespect. Like I'm being like for real, I don't know. I never.
the
Nah,
Bionicle
he's doing
movie.
it. We're doing this.
Bionicle movie.
we're doing the Bionicle
type shit.
movie.
Like something
Yeah.
like
It's us and John Williams.
I
Yeah.
feel cinematic about the music personally, and
Yeah.
I feel like
Right.
even if
About
it's
the
not
cinema.
Michael Bay, then like something cool musically, movie wise, would be really
even
tight.
like
Yeah.
well, the scale is kind of either we're doing Transformers 8
right.
or then there's
Extremes.
a wide margin, and then there's us just shooting the whole movie ourselves, like on one
Like
of our
DIY
phones.
style in
So
Germantown.
look
Like
out
we-
for
yeah,
either of those
that
things.
could
It's
be
gonna
it.
be
Like
either
Lethal Weapon
one.
5.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And I don't want to tease anything too early. There's a lot of stuff
Sure.
I can't say, but Fast and Furious 12.
Fast and Furious. Yeah, Fast 12.
Fast 12.
Let's talk
might
about
have
it.
a song
Fuck 12,
from You're All
F12.
Cowards on it.
Holographic
Exactly.
Vin
It's called
Diesel.
F12.
Yeah, that's gonna do
That's the
numbers.
name of the
That
movie.
one's gonna do
Yeah,
We're
numbers.
we
doing
get the
that
whole
one as
score
well.
to that.
Again, we don't want to speak too soon, but
With all due respect.
yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Oh, and release January.
Oh yeah,
January 11th.
the album is coming out January
the
11th.
debut project. Yeah, exactly.
You're all
Self-titled.
cowards.
What's
Yeah.
the title of the debut project?
What's it called?
It's self-titled, right? Isn't
Right.
it? You're
Yeah,
all
so
cowards.
It's
And
called
You're
You're
All
what's the name of
Cowards.
the group called? What are we called?
It's called You're All Cowards.
Right, by You're All Cowards.
By You're All
You're All
Cowards.
Cowards.
And here's a sneak peek. Track one of the album is called You're All Cowards.
Type shit.
So
Right.
January 11th.
It's the triple
Bandcamp.
threat.
It's
Tap
going to
in.
be available on 4 different Bandcamps. So
Yes.
Well,
Right.
I don't know. What
You're gonna see that right
Look
now.
at
With
our-
4 different artworks
You're
done
watching
by a
this,
wonderful
there's links to
artist.
it.
Look at the internet. Oh yeah, I did 4 album covers. For
4
this.
album
So
covers.
again,
And they're all
chop
fire.
the head on Instagram. DM me. I'll do even one
Chop the
album
legend.
cover for you. Yeah.
Yeah,
No. All
right.
right.
I think we should
at the
say-
same time.
Is that cheesy if we say it at the same
Yeah, we
time?
can't do it at the same time. One person's got to do it, and everybody else has to sit knowingly.
And agree or do ad libs.
You're.
Oh yeah. Okay. For sure.
I'll say You're All Cowards.
Yo, thank you for listening. Is it still rolling?
Yeah, we're going. Do it.
All right, you do
You
it
got
first.
I forget. See, with You're All Cowards. Did I fuck it up?
Kind of. Yeah. Listen.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you for
you.
tuning into Coffee Breaks. This
Shit.
is You're All Cowards. I'm 16. We got Chop the Head. We got Qnorapname. Thank you for tuning in.
We did beer instead of coffee. That's why I was fucking it up.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, thank you for tuning in to Coffee and Breaks. This has been You're All Cowards with another episode.
You're all cowards.
You are all
Every
cowards,
single
but
one of
also
you.
we appreciate every one of you for watching.
Also,
Album's coming out January 11th. Chop the Head, 16. Qnorapname.
you're all cowards.
That's it.